Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Nest. Welcome back to the Nest in 2022. It's January 20th, 2022, and I'm Jim Chu in San Francisco, California. And we're streaming live on Stonks.com with entrepreneurs and investors from around the world. We're here today on the Nest to connect international investors worldwide with the most promising entrepreneurs from emerging markets, especially those in Africa. We stream live the third Thursday of every month, and all episodes are recorded and available on our website, untapped-global.com. And today, we welcome two very high-growth African startups to the Nest. They'll be pitching to a panel of seasoned investors from the US, Haiti, and the UK. But just before we get started with your pitch, just a couple of words about yourself. Where are you, and when did you start Momint?
Yeah, so we're based out of Cape Town for R&D, but we're incorporated in the UK. And we started this business midway through 2021, so it's very new, but things have just been going really upwards from there. And I'll save the detail for the pitch. Okay,
well, great. Well, then let's get started. You have 2 minutes, and I will cut you off.
Okay, great. So hi, everyone. I'm going to tell you about Momint. Momint is social media for Web3. We act as a content marketplace powered by NFTs. This means that we can be completely ad-free and privacy-centric. We provide an easy on-ramp from crypto to fiat, and you don't need any crypto wallet or experience required to get started. Despite all the buzzwords, Momint takes a very practical approach to the NFT and blockchain market, focusing on simplicity, value, and utility. Momint was born in mid-2021, and to date, we've raised $600,000 in seed funding. We've done $104,000 in sales, and we now have more than 10,000 users all around the world, this number roughly doubling month on month. We sell NFTs across all asset classes, some for $1 and some within the top 5% of most valuable NFT sales worldwide. Momint is a gateway from Web 2 to Web 3. Providing an easy on-ramp to crypto and digital assets. It's a place where creators and collectors can buy, share, and trade digital assets. And we use NFT technology to prove ownership and guarantee royalties for creators. We don't charge any gas or listing fees. Momint is open and free to the public. We also have some business tools which solve a key problem for companies interested in launching NFT projects, in that we can send NFTs to an audience that has no crypto wallet. Our API lets businesses get set up and minting NFTs in a few simple steps with flat, non-volatile prices. We're already minting NFTs for blockchain-based games, banking partners, and we even have an e-commerce plugin for online stores. These activations act as a growth hack, acquiring users for us and yielding a 98% profit margin on our fees. Our user base, like I said, has been doubling roughly month on month, and we have a strong release pipeline planned for 2022. We're poised for astronomical growth with a value proposition that is strongly differentiated from all our competitors and a market that is hungry for our service. I look forward to answering your questions.
Great. Just in time. Thank you, Ahren. Now, over to the angels. Who'd like to start with questions?
I'll go. Ahren, good to see you again. So first of all, I need to make a declaration. So I'm actually already an investor at the moment. So, but I'm still going to ask the hard questions because as an investor, you're just as interested in some of these questions than other people do. So Ahren, listen, I think my internet broke up. I want to talk a little bit about metrics. How do you, when you talk about customers, what does that mean? Does that mean one person who's done one NFT? Does it mean, what do you mean by customer? What's your number of customers? What is it? How much? How repeatable are customers? Do they come back? Those kind of metrics, right? Because I think that's key to understanding what the growth of the business is.
Sure. So if I can just ask the team controlling the slides, I've got answers to some of these questions on slides linked, so they can also go up. So I knew we were going to ask about customers. So our customers are between the ages of 18 to 35. So it's very much Gen Z, millennial kind of culture. Typically, our audience is based in Africa, EU, and South America. So you can see the percentage breakdowns over here and what their respective populations are. In terms of revenues per customer, our average revenue per user is roughly $11.42, and our customer acquisition cost is 89 cents. Keep in mind that our fees are a percentage of those revenues, and it works out to roughly 13.8%. In terms of active users, so we've got 10,000 total users. You asked what that means. It means that they've come onto the platform and they've created an NFT on the platform, or they've collected and purchased an NFT on the platform. In terms of monthly active users, we're sitting at roughly 2,400 monthly active users, with that metric growing month on month as well. In the beginning, we believe that monthly active users is always a strong metric to focus on and to drive upwards. But because we're trying to acquire users and give users their first ever crypto assets in their wallet, we believe that there's customer stickiness that comes from that when you have real value in your crypto wallet. And for example, if you have a stock trading or investing app, you may not open it every single day, but because you have money locked up into that ecosystem, there's stickiness that comes along with that. So the users are bound to stick around if we can add enough value to those wallets and list enough value-added assets to keep those users coming back. Does that answer the question? Anything
yes, and what? Well, so follow-on question, and I don't want to hog this, but a follow-on question which is directly related is, what's your customer acquisition strategy?
Yeah, so we have a really, really strong organic marketing approach that we've been bullish on from the beginning, and we knew that it would take some time to build up, but we're documenting the entire process of running the startup from day one. That's live on YouTube, and we release those episodes frequently so people can follow along with the journey. This has two added benefits. So number one, it can acquire customers for us because they know, trust, and understand the business. They know the people behind it. This isn't just a fly-by-night crypto, startup. The other thing that it does for us is it attracts employees. So we've actually had a number of people that we've managed to attract to our company purely based off the fact that they're watching how our company operates and how we go about doing the things that we do. So along with that organic reach, we've gotten consistent organic coverage. We've reached over 200 million unique readers, listeners, and viewers. This comes from the big NFT auctions that we throw quarterly, as well as with charitable projects and other projects that we run through the company. And as an example of this organic reach strategy, you can see TikTok as a use case. TikTok is the number one social media application for the Gen Z population, which is our target audience. And a lot of the other NFT marketplaces, which would be considered competitors, are on TikTok. OpenSea is the most active. They've been around for 5 years and raised over $300 million in funding. And they've got about 7,000 followers and 19,000 likes. We've been on TikTok for much less than a year, in fact, and we've raised only 600K, and we are already matching their followers and drastically surpassing their likes. And I know this seems like a vanity metric, but it's not, because this is how we convert users towards trusting and converting towards our application. So to answer your question on how we're marketing, it's a strong content marketing approach. We've seen 124% month-over-month growth. And to make up the in-between, it really is typical Google ads, Google search ads mainly. We do a little bit of Facebook and Instagram ads, but not much.
Okay, I'm going to keep quiet now because I have lots more questions, but I'm going to keep quiet.
Laurent.
I'm happy to go. Thank you so much, Ahren. I'm an advisor with a fund that's investing in the space. It's exciting times, a lot still to be defined, right? And the on-ramp and off-ramp of, users is so important. And I appreciate the fact that you've addressed that directly, which is great. I would love to kind of build on Raj's question. He talked about the customer, but tell me about community and DAOs and other things. How do you think about this idea of community as you think about what you're building and creating?
Yeah, so community is so important, especially when we're talking about the crypto space, and building a community is extremely important. This speaks to the content marketing approach as well, right? So 90% of what we're doing in those activities is just trying to educate the population and not necessarily a hard sell on the product. So we do a lot of education on what are NFTs, what is crypto, what is a DAO, right? But I'm so glad that you asked that question, because that's actually a key part of our 2022 roadmap. So we're actually going to be building in completely decentralized peer-to-peer messaging on the application using a decentralized ledger. And then we're attacking on the ability to use DAOs as membership to groups, or NFTs as memberships to groups. And this is effectively a minimal viable product for a DAO, right? So anybody in the world could create a suite of NFTs using Momint and allow those NFTs to give access to a private group on a peer-to-peer messaging platform. And that's how you can build a really tight-knit community or a DAO that makes decisions on a grander scale. So we definitely think DAOs are the next big thing, and we're hot on that space. And otherwise, we foster our community on Discord, which is the go-to for the crypto community. We've got about 1,000 users in our community Discord, and it's growing. Lots of questions, lots of customer feedback. We operate on a highly iterative approach, so we listen to our users as much as possible, see what they like and love. We often hold polls and questions on what should we build next, what do you guys want, and that's the direction that we move towards.
Great, thank you. I'll let Laurent go get a question in. He looks like he's busy taking notes, so I hope you're ready.
You're completely right, Laurie.
We're actually working with Better Bank.
Well,
Really, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Because we're planning on doing an additional investment in them, so I'm happy to hear that. So, Ahren, look, quick question. Give me a profile of the management team, the founders, the people that are fueling this company.
Cool. Great question. So myself and my co-founder, Adam Romain, we met at university, and right from the beginning, we started building startups. So we failed some, we succeeded in some, and we learned a lot of lessons along the way. Together, we then started a dev house, basically being startup as a service, helping other companies build a scalable MVP and raising on that scalable MVP. But the goal was always, when we found the right idea, the billion-dollar unicorn idea, that we would absorb our dev house and really engulf our lives around that idea. And that's what happened when we formulated Momint. So we absorbed our entire dev team, and then we scaled up a little bit on marketing. So I don't know if you guys can see the slides. So Adam and I know each other. We go a long way back. I'm CEO, he's CTO. And then we pitched the idea to Rob Hersoff, who's a South African billionaire, and he's our chairman. So Rob has really been an incredible asset to unlocking doors to rights. In the beginning, we were considering doing a very, very AAA grade kind of launch with massive celebrities. And, we were on the phone with Post Malone and Jordan Belfort and those kind of characters very quickly. We decided to go for the open marketplace and influencer marketing strategy. That's kind of the executive team structure. And we've built a really, really cool team. I love everybody on our team right now. They're really incredible. From creatives, developers, marketing. We're really scaling quickly but picking our individuals really, really carefully. And I'm happy with every single member of our team.
And, second and last question.
Emoji, by the way. Sorry, Laurent, go ahead.
What are your two objectives for 2022? The two main objectives.
For 2022, we project reaching $20 million in gross merchandise value. So that's the value of products on our marketplace, sold on our marketplace. That's one key metric that we'd really, really like to hit. And the other one is we'd really like to basically over 10x our users to around 230,000 users using the platform. Those are our minimum requirements.
And what's your current products in the market? What did you do last year, 21?
So 2021, we did $104,000 in sales.
No, you said you had 20 million products was the. So I'm trying to comparable between
Yeah.
what you're planning in 2022, what you had last year, right?
Yes, we've done $104,000 in sales. We're planning to do $20 million in sales this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's called sales. Okay, these are talking about product.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But how do you, I mean, so you're planning on going from 104 to 20 million?
Yeah. So, cool. So how does that make sense? It's driven, we have three key revenue drivers, and I think it makes a lot more sense when we look at it that way. So our first revenue driver is our quarterly auctions, which we throw. The auctions provide us with a lot of exposure and very large cash injections in the short term. Right, so that's a great way to sell NFTs at a high value to high net worth individuals and make sure that those NFTs have a lot of production value behind them. Our second revenue driver is our business tools through our API. That's going to provide us with user growth and recurring revenue in the medium to long term. And then in the long term, our marketplace is going to provide us with revenue at scale through our microtransactions. So that's how we plan to hit that margin. And yeah, like I mentioned, maybe just in the behind the scenes, our next auction is in March, where it's going to be 2,000 people. We're going to be selling a Bored Ape as well as Nelson Mandela's warrant for arrest. And from this auction alone, we're projecting $8 million in sales. So hitting that $20 million mark, I don't think is unreasonable.
Hey, Ahren. Sorry, Laurie, you wanted to go. Please go ahead.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the smart contracts. I had just looked at your website, which was great, by the way, and you talked about a royalty being like a 10%. But I would think that that's something that the artist decides as part of the contract. So can you talk a little bit about kind of the key levers of the smart contract? Can the artist define fractional ownership? Is the expectation that the artist may do more than one of the same digital image and sell? Can you just talk a little bit about the framework and the levers that the artist gets to define as part of owning the product?
Yeah, so our smart contracts do have a default 10% royalty. So the artist at the moment can't define that. This is on our roadmap to changing. Our customers seem very happy with the 10% margin. Sometimes with flexible margins, it can get a little bit hairy because you have to inform the buyer as well that when they resell the asset, they need to sell it over a certain percentage in order to make any profits. But when you keep it a flat rate, it's really simple and straightforward for everyone involved. But what's really cool, and I think we're the only platform in the world that can do this right now, is that the artist can define arbitrary royalty splits. So what I mean by that is they can add charities or collaborators to that 10% royalty and the initial sale to as many different creators, charities, or collaborators as they like, and they'll automatically get dispersed the funds. So our smart contract is written in Solidity, and we can deploy on any EVM chain. So right now we support Gnosis by default on the marketplace application. But for our B2B tooling, our customers choose which blockchain they'd like to deploy on. And we can support Gnosis, Polygon, Ethereum mainnet, although then they have to consider gas fees, as well as Solana and any other EVM chain.
Excellent. That's really interesting. Thanks. I didn't realize that. That's a really interesting approach.
Ahren,
do you mind if we introduce a couple of questions from the audience?
Sure.
So how is competitive differentiation? Question from Jorge Gio.
That was my question too. So there we are.
Yeah. How is Momint different from OpenSea, Rarible, and other marketplaces? Apart from the fact that customers don't need a wallet.
We're massively different, right? And there's a number of keys to this. So the first one is that we're a social marketplace. The reason why we're a social marketplace is because quite a strong key to NFTs is that you're buying this asset that you want to show off, right? Like you want your friends to see it, you want to show it off. So having a social marketplace makes sense in that respect, because you can follow your friends, you can see what they buy. Because there's print editions, you can follow along buy. You can follow your favorite creators, and it really has this built-in creator economy behind it. So I would say the social features is really key. We also did a ton of research behind it and found that social marketplaces result in 60% higher sales conversions than ordinary marketplaces. And a lot of this data was backed off of the performance of e-commerce stores during COVID, for example. So we thought it was really key to do that from day one. And what this results in is that we can have a completely ad-free social media site. And I think in a world where people are growing more and more aware of how when they're not paying for products, they are the product, and their data is being collected and sold to third parties. I think people are really, really hungry for a social media site that they can use, that they know their data is not being collected, it's not being sold, it's privacy centric. We're the only ones who have whatever data you give us, and we never give it to anyone else. Besides that, I would say our buying model is very, very different. So we're targeting developing markets, Asia, Africa, South America, and these markets are not as cash positive as America, for example. So I don't think coming into these markets with the same approach where you're just trying to sell NFTs for the highest value would have worked. So on our platform, the average sale price for NFTs is $6.62. And what it really comes down to is creators fueling each other to continue creating more and supporting one another. So on our platform, we've actually got something called a collectible model. So artists can create NFTs and make them collectible. And what that means is that their audience can collect them and pay whatever they want for the NFT. They can collect it for free, or they can pay any amount that they choose. I think this is all of these together make a very, very strong differentiation from any of the competitors. I've got a slide up as well, talking a little bit towards some of the features that we've got over and above the others. We're live on the iOS and Android store. I think Rarible only managed to do that recently, and you can't actually buy any NFTs in the app. So I do believe that we're quite ahead of the game, especially when it comes to features.
Yeah, I love the fact that you guys are targeting emerging markets as a marketplace for it. I think they have a lot of purchase in these emerging markets simply because other options from that may not be as available. So I think the DeFi world can do a lot to bring or level the playing field for African and Asian investors that currently isn't available. Wonderful.
Sure.
Any other questions? If not, then I'd like to go to final thoughts from the... Oh, Raj, you had another question.
So listen, Ahren, first of all, thank you. And, as you know, I've always been very transparent, but I'm learning about this space, and I've learned a lot sort of being involved as an investor in Momint. Could you talk to us a little bit about the sort of process as a customer? What's the customer process, number one? And the thing what you always told me was that you are cheaper than anyone else. And why are you cheaper? What's making you cheaper? Because I think that's kind of the thing that I look to. Is it something that's defensible? Can you carry on being cheaper? I can be cheaper if I've got a big balance sheet, right? So what's making you cheaper?
Yeah, so there were two key questions there. I think I'll tackle the first one around a customer. And even that one breaks down into two, because we've got business customers and ordinary just users of the application. So for ordinary users of the application, you sign up. This is why I say it's like a nice bridge from Web 2 to Web 3. So you sign up with a username and password, something you're super familiar with, and everybody knows how to do that. We generate a crypto wallet for you behind the scenes, and we keep it encrypted in a vault. And then you can link your MetaMask or whatever else if you want to import some other tokens or export your tokens out. So for a user coming on for the first time, it's really simple and straightforward. It takes less than 2 minutes to create an account. And then to mint an NFT, we walk you through that process. So when you create an NFT, and I think this touches on the question that Laurie had around the process as well. When you're minting an NFT, you choose your asset. It can be an image, a video, or a 3D file, which we also support augmented reality for. You can then choose your rights, which are baked into the smart contract. So you can choose personal use rights or commercial rights. Then you choose your pricing model. So is it a flat rate or collectible? And then your royalty splits. Beyond that, you post your NFT, we mint it for you and put it on the marketplace. So we cover the minting fees. The reason why we can do that is because we charge 15% on the first sale. So that recoups all the upfront minting fees that we've done. We have also done some really smart stuff around how we structured our smart contract. There's ways that you can structure your smart contract such that you use as much of the non-gas fee functions as possible to reduce the cost, as well as we're also staking on the network, which means that we make a fee back for as long as the network operates. And that also helps us offset that cost. And that's why we think we have a really strong defensible moat in terms of price. That being said, there are a lot of blockchains coming out now with super low minting fees. And we think the winner in this space is going to be someone who supports multiple chains. It's not going to come down to which chain you support or I think what that cost associated with that is. So that was kind of the customer question. Your second question again, Raj, if you can just And I'll try and keep it quick because I know we've got another pitch.
No, I've got so engrossed in the first question, I can't even remember what my second question was.
No, so
I think
we
the
are
same thing
running out
happens
of
to me.
time. So
Yeah.
we'd like to go to the investors and get final thoughts. Laurent, would you invest?
Yeah, definitely.
Excellent. Quick answer. Awesome.
Definitely.
And just full disclosure,
Yeah.
I'm an investor in Momint. I'm also an investor in the next company. But that's why, not why they were chosen. But,
Sounds dodgy, Jim.
full
Sounds
disclosure.
dodgy.
They do sing in their car.
That reassures
They
me
do
more.
karaoke, I think.
Yes, you guys need to come and do some karaoke with me. That's a prerequisite.
Well, Jim, I
I'll
think
do it just for a ride in the Tesla.
I think the company is right up what we're trying to do at our ventures, and it's right up our alley. So we're definitely gonna make an investment. So now we have to look at the what's needed, the terms and everything. But we will definitely be in.
Excellent. Good to hear that. Glad to have you as a co-investor again on another deal. Lori, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm super interested. I definitely want to talk further. You've done a lot of interesting things around the model that make it more emerging market. And I like the business angle with the APIs. I think in general, there's big funders in the space, right? Andreessen's got billions and billions of dollars. They're supporting Solana, their own chain. So I think, the differentiation is important. There's a lot of money, in the system to invest good companies. So I'm very optimistic for you.
Thank you.
And then question to you, Raj, because I know you already invested, but would you re-up?
So I think the truth is that I invested with very little understanding of either what Momint does or what an NFT is. I'll be just honest, right? I mean, and I like the concept, and I've tried to learn more, and I think I'm very impressed with what Ahren has done over the last 1 year, and I've been following his journey, and we've been connecting and talking a bit. So I would consider re-ing up. I need to talk to Vishal, and we'll sort of make a decision. We need to look at terms, etc. But yeah, so that's perhaps the answer is yes, but I just need to sort of check back with my partner, but I'm very, very impressed with what he's doing. The other thing that perhaps quickly is, one of the things that worries me with all of these spaces is that, you can be the cheapest, but there are people with much, much bigger checkbooks than you, right? And they can make it zero. They can give people money to, they can do an Uber on you, right? So it becomes free. And how do you compete against that? But perhaps that's not for today, but we can have a conversation about that.
Well, wonderful. Thank you very much, Raj, Lori, Laurent, and thank you, Ahren, for the pitch. And best of luck in raising your round. I think we got a couple of intros and a commit from this session. So hopefully, good luck with that.
Thank you so much, Jim.